I don't know, man. I don't know about this StreamYard, man. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to keep them around, man. What's up, people? How you doing? My name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? What's up? Jesus. Thing is crazy. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, this thing just be acting crazy sometime, man. It just does. I haven't even done anything to it. Goofy. All right. How's the Tim Black Wolfpack in the building, man? How y'all doing, man? Talk to me. Tim, you can't hear us. You can't hear us, Tim. I know. Look, welcome Buck Bewley. Buck Bewley, Ebony, and Black Mamba in the building. My moderators extraordinaire. Give it up for them, give it up for them, give it up for them. I know I saw Ebony. I know I saw Buck. Black Mamba hit me up earlier, so I hope she's okay. I see I got some Tim Black affiliates in the building. Tim Black VIPs in the building. What's up, y'all? How y'all doing and everything? I got a couple fans running. I hope that doesn't mess up the audio quality. But the brother got to do what he got to do. It's either that or burst in the flame, and that wouldn't be good for the equipment. So what's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? If you're new to the show, we cover U.S. politics, breaking news, and, of course, Black culture. We do it all right here on the Tim Black Show. Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We are making it happen. I tell all my viewers, I level with them. I tell them the truth. I say, yo, I'm a Democratic Party hater. I don't want you to be confused. I don't want you to trip. What I want you to know, I want you to hear from me first. I had some food I saw some food, something called Progressive something on Facebook. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. I'm minding my business, right? I post to my timeline. That is. I post on my fan page. Right? To people that follow me, who follow what I talk about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I post to. And I post a short clip from one of my shows. He responds to the clip. He says something like, oh, look at this, brother. Look at this, brother. Something. Look at this. You have lost all value to humankind, Tim Black. Now the only value you have is money that you can make for yourself. What a disappointment your turn in politics has become. I wasn't going to respond because it ain't what people call you, it's what you answer to. But I responded anyway, and I told him, I said, you know, I've been doing this for over a decade. I don't remember you person. I don't know whose name. I was never told who's hiding their name. He also had some type of fan page or something, progressive something. I said, you know, I don't remember you. I don't think you've ever contributed to my show. I don't think we've ever spoken, but still you feel somehow entitled. I need to explain to you how I feel politically. I said, man, I advocate for Black people and for working class people living paycheck to paycheck trying to get by. That's who I advocate for. And I make no apologies about it. Now kick rocks and block me if you got a problem. I shouldn't even said that. I looking back, it's like, why even say that? Just block them. Or do nothing. You could do nothing. Could have done nothing. Ignored them. I think when you hide people's posts, they don't know they're blocked. But it was just an entitlement. Like he's entitled to agree with me. Like I'm entitled to have a point of view that's his point of view. And any other point of view. And that's the thing about the liberals. That's the thing about the liberals and the progressive. If you do not agree with them, and I'm sure it's the same thing with conservatives. I don't know. I don't rock. I didn't used to be a conservative. You know what I'm saying? So I can't tell you. But I gotta imagine it's pretty polarizing on either side of the aisle. So I'm just gonna say it's a problem with people. As long as they agree with you, you're cool. But once they stop agreeing with you, oh my God, they could care less. They help your car get blown up, your cat get ran over, your dog commit suicide, and your wife leave you and your kids become like Hunter Biden. You know what I'm saying? That's what they wish for you, all because you have a different opinion than they do. And what's also disgusting about it is nobody with common sense in this political landscape and what we're dealing with, man, with this battlefield. Politics is a battlefield. You know what I'm saying? Nobody with any common sense can look at this mess, this dumpster fire we call a political environment, and be like, either side has this shit figured out. I mean, how could you possibly believe that? If you believe the Democrats or Republicans or conservatives or liberals or progressives have shit figured out, you're a fool. You know what I'm saying? How could you possibly believe that in a system as disgusting, as corrupt, as backwards, as bigoted, as corny, as full of, you know what I'm saying? How could you possibly be self-righteous and up on your high horse about politics? I got my point of view. I'm subject to change based on debate and facts. I try to be reasonable, but there's a couple things I'm on reason with. You telling me I don't have my right to my black ass opinion in your way or the highway. We ain't gonna have a conversation after that. You understand what I'm saying? As long as I was carrying water for them, you know what I'm saying? Being that black guy that was progressive for them, who has street credibility with the blacks, because most of them don't. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. Most of the black progressives that I've met was like, particularly in media, hello, hi, that goofy shit. You know what I'm saying? Or so young they don't know anything that's going on, and their whole ideology will probably change in 5 years. Let them see a little life. Let them see a little life. Had them get confronted by some MS-13. Have them have a real conversation with some MS-13 victims. Had them do some real deep diving about some things. You know what I'm saying? Have them do some living. A little bit of living. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how you feel then. You know what I mean? Because they're operating from a position of no knowledge about anything, and everything is in your head or in a book somebody else wrote. Let you get your feet wet in this world. You know what I'm saying? Let you get a couple of eviction notices under your belt. Let's see how you talk then. You know what I'm saying? Let's see how you talk when you got kids that gotta be fed and you don't know what you're gonna do. You gotta walk out the house and come up with a plan. The car down, the wife pregnant, and the rent's due. I wanna see how you talk then. Then things change. Then all of a sudden, you'll see your politics don't mean any, as much as you thought it meant, it don't mean nothing, man. All that stuff you got in your head you think don't got nothing to do with execution of life. So anybody walking around, man, pretending they got it all figured out is a liar. That's what they are, and they're posturing online. Because there ain't a single party in this country that truly has your back fully. I don't care what nobody says. And no politician can you put your trust in fully. I don't care who they are. They are good for what they are good for. And when they cease to be good for you, you'll whack them with voting for the other guy or supporting the other person or boosting up another woman or whatever you're going to do. That's the only way you keep them honest. Is by flaming their ass publicly, because they hate negative publicity. They hate negative sentiment that's publicized. That's the only power you have against them. You do understand this. That's why the Black Truth Challenge is so important. The Black Truth Challenge is very important because I'm trying to get people to use a hashtag to put pressure on politicians and media personnel. Okay? So it is what it is. Look, Tim Black Woodpack is in the house. We do this. Once again, I got some stories loaded up I'd like to get to tonight for the crew. I don't know what's been going on with the apparatus lately, fam. It was like stutter stepping. I didn't know what was happening. It was a serious lag. I'm like, I rebooted 3 times to get this to work. And yeah. I'd like to go ahead and jump off and get the night started, though, if that's okay with y'all. How about we get started, get the games going? Okay, let's do it. My first order of business.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Groundbreaking. Can you talk a little bit about the mark that he's leaving here? It's just incredibly sad when we think of what a young age he died at.
Yeah, the passing of Malcolm Jamal Warner is horrific. And, you know, I know Elizabeth Wagmeister and one of the entertainment reporters that you had on before, but culturally, and I think Bomani and myself can speak to this, this is like the loss of a family member in that, look, I'm the child of immigrants and my dad is a PhD. My mom is a therapist. Malcolm Jamal Warner was the first time I saw somebody that looked like me and my brothers on television that my parents could relate to. The conversations that he would have on screen with his television dad were the same conversations about going to college and cleaning your room that I was having with my father. So his voice as a Black man on screen, and then afterwards, just the man he was, the smile, the artist, the Grammy you mentioned, he was also on Def Poetry Jam. There was an aura about him of just class and grace. And for me at my age, it's like losing a family member because we grew up with him. Like I grew up watching this kid go through the same things that I was going through while he's on camera. And so culturally, his passing is so tremendous to our community as Black men because he was a father himself. Like he embodied the things that maybe Bill Cosby it turned out wasn't, but Malcolm Jamal Warner was those things. He kept his life private. And so again, I'm almost at a loss for words because when I saw the news, I could not believe it. 54 is not only so young, but what he meant to me growing up and to a great many of us, to see something like that to see us represented is so powerful. It's definitely a tragic loss, not just for the entertainment community, but the Black community as a whole. We lost somebody that I throw it to you, Bomani. I grew up watching him and laughing, and my dad did the same thing. I brought you into this world, I'll take you out. He just did it with a Nigerian accent.
It's next.
Yeah, I find it you know, when I got the news about Malcolm Jamal Warner, man, it was really, it really hit me hard. You know what I'm saying? It really hit me hard because as this African brother, Nigerian brother just expressed, I grew up with Malcolm Jamal Warner. And I remember when the Cosby Show came out, and it just takes me back to fonder times. You know what I'm saying? My dad was here, and we were all living under one roof, and wasn't time to pay bills yet. And I looked forward to watching that show. We all did as a family. We used to watch the show as a family, which means they played on the big TV. And it meant a lot. It was a very important time, a pivotal time, you know, and I'm sure I shared this experience with a lot of Black young men at the time. You know, in the 80s, we had the good fortune of having a few shows that had Black Americans on those shows. Good Times, What's Happening, just to name a few. But it was something about the Bill Cosby show. I think it was the upward mobility, that, and followed later by the college, the college show. Malcolm Jamal Warner, it was just a brother, man. And time went on. You got to understand, he was much more deep brother than just his acting roles. He was also a poet. He was also a musician. He was a pure artist and very accessible brother. You see him online talking to many people. I never had the opportunity to speak to him, but he seemed like a very accessible brother. Another thing about his passing, the way he did, is that when I discovered how he passed, it really jarred me because, I've shared on this podcast, I had a near-death experience myself, similar to what tragically took his life, apparently, from what I'm hearing, on vacation with his family in Costa Rica and drowns. And I remember, man, it keeps flashing in front of my eyes when I was in Carolina with the family. We're at a beach at Myrtle Beach, and I was trying to retrieve a float device my son was using, and it was far away. The waves were taking, and I should have just let that thing go, man. But I wanted to get after it, And another kid, a young white kid, he saw what I was doing, and I guess he said, "Look at this old man. He's trying to look at this old man trying to get this thing. He gonna kill himself out here. Let me go get it." So he swam out to get it, and it was far at this point. It had gotten far, and I was like, I need to turn around. But then I felt like maybe I need to keep going because I can't have this guy swim all the way back to me with it. As I'm getting closer to him, I realized the water was deeper and deeper and deeper. And at this point, you just had to tread water. So I got the device and I'm coming back. And the waves are serious. And I caught a cramp in my leg, man. I caught a cramp in my leg, and I'm looking at the waves. I'm like, my eyesight, my eye line is right at the waves, and there's no one. And I said, this could be it right here, man. This could be it. I said, let me just take my time and work through that cramp. My out of shape ass was cramped up. My leg went to cramping and out. But I made it back, and I got back, and it just never left me. It was a certain feeling an eerie feeling of this could cost you your life right here. And I remember telling that story to some people at 4th of July. I told that story to a couple guys. We were having a conversation about near-death experiences, and one of the guys looked at me and said, Tim, man, that's how people die, bro. And probably what saved you was you didn't panic, because if you panic in a situation like that, rest in peace to Malcolm Jamal Warner, man. Life is frail. As Dave Chappelle would say, it's flimsy. And you never really know anything about tomorrow. It's not when we go. It's not if we go, it's when we go. And no matter what you be through, what you go through, or what you've been through, it's elusive. Nobody knows anything. Nothing's promised. So everybody needs to live their life that way. I don't know what else to say about Malcolm Jamal Warner, except I admired the image that he was able to portray on screen and off screen in his life, his private life, his family life, his beautiful family that he kept very private. You found very little pictures of him and his people. And you never really heard anything about him, like, out of pocket and all the scandals, and even with the Bill Cosby thing. I mean, he spoke a little, but not much. Shouts out. Hats off. My condolences to his loving family, man. That's tough. And to all the people out there who lost somebody, man. Malcolm Jamal Warner, a class act, and he will be remembered for many, many moons to come. All right. Bummer, guys. Bummer. Bummer. All right, let's go, man. Let's keep it moving. No, it doesn't. Just doesn't, man. Yeah, Cosby Show raised a lot of kids. It sure did, man. Yeah. Gary. Yeah, I hear you, Gary. I'm going to take your word for it. I don't know much about the rip tide, the rip current, the smooths of a rip current. Yeah. 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 And it's deceptive. The thing about the water, man, is very deceptive, and people, I think sometimes people have a false sense of security with water. You know what I'm saying? I remember one night, me and my brother were fishing at a watering hole, little local spot. It was getting late, and we were still fishing. We're supposed to go after dark. The park people came up. One of the, I forget the rangers, not a ranger, but one of the wildlife people, whatever, wants to come over and ask you for your license or whatever, fishing license. Anyway, he came over and he was like, hey guys, you got to leave. It's after dark or whatever. And it was pretty late when we were there. And there was a little pier set up. So we were on this little pier, just my brother and I. And he was like, yeah, you might want to get out of here, It's like, yeah, okay, yes, we'll get out of here. It was real cool. We were about to leave. He was saying, let's just last weekend right here on this spot, 3 people drowned. It's like, what? Here? And I'm looking at the little water, like, he's like, yeah, man, don't let this water fool you, man. Like one kid fell in, one man fell in, and then his friend jumped in to help him, and they both started drowning, and the third guy jumped in, and all 3 of them drowned. Right here. And there was nothing anyone could do. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, it can't be more than 10, 15 feet. What is this? This is a little border pond. What is... He said the motion underneath, man, this breaks out into the Potomac, and the motion underneath this is the current. It's deceptive. And it's deeper than 10 feet. It looks like that from here. But if you went in that water, you'll see it's a lot much deeper than that. Anyway, all right. I don't know, man. Let's see if we can get into some other type of spirit, man. I'm up here talking about this and getting a little morbid. Getting a little morbid, friends. It's tough, man. So yeah, let's try to change. Let's see if we can change the trajectory of the show tonight by going to this.
On Deck with Tim Black.
And you would have the Speaker Emeritus that would say, well, I'm going to leave it up to, but I don't know. And they had already made a decision. They had clearly made a decision. And when I say they, I mean the Speaker. And, I heard Alexandra Pelosi say something, call my like, put your big girl pants on to my mom or something. And I kind of feel like saying, who the fuck do you think you are? I would never speak about your mom that way.
Yeah.
I would never speak about your father that way. I would never insult your parents that way. Even to this day, I would never vote for someone and I go be like all these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. Fuck you. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you got food on your fucking table? Who do you think washes your dishes? Who do you think does your fucking garden? Who do you think is here by the fucking sheer fucking just grit and will that they figured out a way to get here because they...
Black Americans, that's what I think. That's what I think. I think all those things about us, man. Yeah, I'm not impressed by the victory tour, whatever this is he's doing. Cracky tales. Cracky tales in defense of a horrible father, a biased, racist dad who wanted to throw everything, the book, the kitchen sink, the library card, a bookmobile, a mobile book farm, one of them book vans used to come around, we'd all be excited. The book van's coming, the book van's coming. He threw that at black people too. Everything that Joe Biden could throw at ninjas, he threw at us. And then what did he do when he had a drug addict in his family? He became understanding and caring and benevolent and loving. He became a human being suddenly. But not for us, though. With us, it was the animals. Then he'd be thrown in jail. He give them as much time as humanly possible. Don't come in with your sanctimonious bullshit. And I know some people buy into it. Some people gonna buy into it. Hey, man, I'm a Democratic Party hater. Nothing I love more than somebody ripping the hole into the Democrats. Go ahead and do it. But not this guy. I mean, do it, but don't expect claps from me. Don't expect me to welcome you back. Because if Joe didn't go, he wouldn't be saying shit. He wouldn't. He's only talking now because he's upset daddy is not president. That's the only reason why he's talking. That's the only reason why he's talking. So you don't get any cool points. So conservatives are going to use it like they're going to benefit from it, use it. I saw these clips. Jesse Water grabbed them. Jesse Water did a whole segment on it. I'm using some of the clips, and I got clips them off Twitter as well. Because it's making the rounds around conservative Twitter and around conservative X and Facebook and all over. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not fooled. I am not fooled by it. It's probably so up in arms and defending undocumented people because that's probably where he got his drugs. But let us continue. Yeah, I changed. I mean, anger's better than gloom. Yeah. Let's keep going.
They thought that they could give themselves and their family a better chance. And he's somehow convinced all of us that these people are the fucking criminals.
Opinions, but
Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him and everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one, I agree with Quentin Tarantino. Fucking George Clooney is not a fucking actor. He is a fucking, I don't know what he is. He's a brand. And by the way, and God bless him. You know what? He supposedly treats his friends really well. You know what I mean? Buys them things. And he's got a really great place in Lake Como. And he's great friends with Barack Obama. Fuck you. What do you have to do with fucking anything? Why do I have to fucking listen to you? What right do you have to step on a man who's given 52 years of his fucking life to the service of this country?
You know, man, people were talking like this guy lit it up. Wow. Just a bunch of F-bombs and recycled lines that other people said. It's really not impressive. I mean, I'm glad he's saying it. I don't know George Clooney could give a shit about it. I mean, we'll talk. So, he's not the worst actor. Sean Penn would be worse. Yeah, Sean Penn. The guy that shot the woman in the face. Hey, those would be some liberals I go after before. He's only going after Clooney because Clooney wrote that letter to Joe Biden to step his ass down. See, so it's all self-serving is all I'm saying. All this ridicule are for the people that shit on his dad and people that wanted his dad to have a seat at 86 or whatever. I mean, can you really fault anybody? You think anybody would have played hardball with Joe if Joe would have just did the right thing? No. Nobody would have risked the political fallout. Nobody would have muscled him out. Nobody got to force you out if you walk away, which is what Joe Biden said he was going to do to begin with. Remember when he ran? Remember when Joe looked into the camera and said, I'm a transformational president. My job is to pass the baton, yada, yada, yada. Then he proceeded to renege on everything he said. Even though we could see him dying in front of us, his brain rotting in front of us. I'm not defending Nancy Pelosi. I don't give a damn about Pelosi. But I'm not going to clap for this guy, Mr. F-bomb every 2 seconds, like he's coming off a high or waiting for a new one. All because someone told his rich dad, in that 50 years, he worked 50 years in government. Yeah, and I wish he would have only worked 2, okay? 50 years, passing the most hard criminal justice programs of any member in the Senate, and bragged about it. $50 years, like that means something.
And decide that you, George Clooney, are going to take out basically a full-page ad in the fucking New York Times to me and James Carville, who hasn't run a race in 40 fucking years, and David Axelrod, who had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of fucking David Axelrod. And David Plouffe, and all of these guys, and the Pod Save America guys, who were junior fucking speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff, who've been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40, $50 million off the Democrat.
Let's talk about the money you made, asshole. Can we talk about the money you made not doing anything? At least they had to work. What'd you do? Sitting on a board doing nothing, collecting money, bribe money that your dad hooked up. See, why aren't we asking these questions? Why isn't this guy in this weird jacket and tie and weird combination here? Why is he not asking anything, questions? He's letting this guy rant on a bender, remake history. Look, I got a pause who he's calling out. I can't stand the Pod Save guys. Not a fan of Axelrod, bloviating loudmouth, on and on and on. Not a big fan of Obama. Told y'all that. I feel like he betrayed Black America big time. He cosplayed as a black man in order to get elected, just to go in there and free the LGBT crew and treat black people like we were stepchild and talk down to black people. And he's still talking down to black people and still working on behalf of LGBTQ. He a closet homosexual. That's what he is, man. That's what I believe. I could be wrong, but it sure seemed that way. He may be a closeted African-American, for real. It is what it is, man. It's bad when I don't like who he's. It's typically, maybe it's because I just saw the film of Mark Lamont Hill. Damn. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Maybe I just, maybe I'm still dealing with that in my head that's making me be a little difficult. You know what I'm saying? To not fully enjoy this from a comical standpoint. Because I don't much care about the people he's roasting. James Carville he's a cartoon character. He should be selling propane and propane products. You know what I'm saying? King of the Hill. He should be a member of the King of the Hill. In fact, I think he inspired King of the Hill's many of the cartoon characters on King of the Hill. Or at least Ren and Stimpy or Beavis and Butthead or something. He looks just like those guys. They owe him a check. But, it's for his political IQ. One of those guys that come out every once in a while and just says what regular people think and then proceeds to give horrible advice. He made a lot of money doing whatever he's doing now. Because he ain't worked since Clinton was in office. God damn. He hasn't held a job since Clinton was in office. And he don't look to be hurting for anything. And if that don't say something about how corrupt our system is, what will? What will, fam?
Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times, how to pass more legislation than any president in history, how to have a better midterm election than anybody in history, and how to garner more votes than any president that has ever run. And they're
Well, he took a lot of money for the pharmaceutical company. That's how he got elected so much. He took a lot of bribes. He did a lot of favors, and he sold out a lot of people. That's what he did there, Hunter. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to look that shit up and know that. I know it. You can know it too if you pull your head out of the crack pipe or out of your ass for a while. You can figure that out. It's nothing to brag about. Nothing at all. And as far as him being elected president with the most votes, yeah, I wonder how that happened. Oh, yeah, the mysterious COVID and the mysterious everybody has to mail in their ballots. You really think Joe Biden was more popular than Barack Obama? That's what you really think, huh? That's what you really think. You really think that you are that dumb. You must be high now, man.
going to replace their judgment for his.
Not to mention
Who's Jake Tapper's audience? Jake Tapper?
my mom or something. I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
For real though, I don't even think it's your mom anymore.
No,
because
no.
by the numbers, what influence does Jake Tapper have over anything? He has the smallest audience on cable news, and beyond that, I think that the book is right now on Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to shit after he put the book out. You know, they did a 2-week infomercial for it. I mean, it was such a money grab, such a disservice to everybody that he serves with. That the German
opinions, but
fuck him, and everybody around him. I don't have to be fucking nice. Number one.
Yeah, we already heard that. Yeah, Jake Tapper, like, I don't defend Jake Tapper, man. Why would I? Who wants to defend this guy? But it's pretty obvious you're upset about the book exposing your dad and the people around your dad. People like you.
Everybody around him. I don't have to be nice. Number one, I had one success in his political life, and that was Barack Obama. And that was because of Barack Obama, not because of David Axelrod and David Plouffe and all of these guys and the Pod Save America guys who were junior speechwriters in, on Barack Obama's Senate staff who have been dining out on the relationship with him for years, making millions of dollars. The Anita Dunns of the world, who's made $40-50 million off the Democratic Party. They're all going to insert their judgment over a man who has figured out, unlike anybody else, how to get elected to the United States Senate over 7 times. We all talk about the incredible popularity of Barack Obama. Barack Obama never got more than 69 million votes. My dad got 81 million votes. What is the one thing that drives Obama more crazy about my dad than anything? It's when he sits around and he continues to talk to people in a crowd, because then he can't also leave the stage at the same time.
That's exactly
and
right.
He never likes hanging around.
He doesn't. He doesn't like taking. He doesn't like rope lines. He doesn't like to take the pictures.
Oh, he doesn't like taking pictures. Yeah, no one's accused Barack Obama of being handsy. Can't say that about Joe Biden, can we? Got a lot of other criticism for him now. I didn't even know Jamie Harrison had a podcast when that happened. Amazing.
What the Democratic Party proved is they have no guts. I mean, by the way, I say party. The elite white people that donate to the colleges, the people that donate to the multi-million-dollar checks to the DNC and the DCCC and the DSCC, the Schumer people and the Pelosi people and those people, the controlling interest of the corporate side of the Democratic Party. You know who did not want Kamala Harris to be president and did not want her to be the nominee? Nancy Pelosi didn't want her to be. None of Nancy Pelosi's people wanted her to be. They wanted an open convention. They wanted a floor fight. They wanted I don't know what the hell they wanted, but they wanted to be the ones to anoint whoever they were going to anoint to become the next president of the United States. And you would have the Speaker Emeritus that would say, well, I'm going to leave it up.
Hold on, man. Hold on. That's true. That's true. They probably didn't want Kamala. But she got to run and Biden got to endorse her, and what happened? You think that wouldn't have happened? Like, I'm just saying, I mean, your dad didn't want to step down, so she wouldn't have got a chance to run. If it would have been up to your dad, he only endorsed her because he was forced to step down. But I don't know, man. It's just... So evidently, he didn't want to give it a shot either because he wasn't trying to step down. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody wanted Kamala. That's something you all have in common. Now, who wanted her least? Maybe you can have that argument. It's like, who wants the spoiled milk the least? I don't know. No one wants it.
But I don't know. And they had already made a decision. They had clearly made a decision. And when I say they, I mean the speaker. And, you know, I heard Alexander Pelosi say something, call my like, put your big girl pants on to my mom or something. And I kind of feel like saying, who the f*** do you think you are? I'll tell you what, I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, and the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times. Yeah. He's 81 years old. He's tired as shit. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights. And it feeds into every story that anybody wants to tell.
Oh.
With literally...
Oh, it was Ambien. Okay, it wasn't age and time. Things all of us is going to deal with if we aren't dealing with them right now. That wasn't it. It was the Ambien. Who else had an Ambien story? What was it, Rosie or Rosie? No, it was the one from the comedian, Lucille Ball. No, Roseanne. That's what it was, Roseanne. Yeah, she had an Ambien moment that made her type something that got her show canceled, right? Man, Ambien's dangerous, man. It's almost as bad as crack.
How many anonymous sources? If this was a conspiracy, Andrew, you know this, somehow the entirety of a White House in which you literally living on top of each other has kept their mouth shut about, you know, like what? And what's a conspiracy? Yeah. That Joe Biden got old? Yeah, he got old. He got old before our eyes. The people that came out against him were who? Nobody. Except Speaker Pelosi. What influence does Jake?
The people. The people. Hunter, the people came out. Man, his ratings were in the toilet, man. His ratings were dog shit. I mean, come on, man. Cut the nonsense, man. See, there it is. Once again, like, yeah, man, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but, you know, don't rewrite history, Johnson. But if Biden was winning, nothing changes. There would not have been, okay, this is how it works. If Biden's approval rating was high and America was loving him, there would have been no replacing him. Because if you try to replace him, you tank the party. But since he was in the doghouse, his numbers sucked. Everyone knew they couldn't win with him. You think they did it to save him? No, he did it as self-preservation to get rid of him, to have a shot. So you're rewriting everything. Nah, go back in time. It wasn't that long ago. It's recent history. Joe Biden's numbers were horrible, Johnson. He was not going to win anything. He was in the tank. He stunk. It was pathetic. Bad. You had to get rid of the guy. People have been calling for it. There was no appetite for him. People were not going to come out and support the guy. They forced him out because of that. Because he could not win. And they knew Trump was going to get reelected if he lost. That was the point. Turns out Trump still won. You really think that Joe Biden would have done better than Kamala Harris? I don't know. And what difference does do better mean? An L is an L. An L was an L. He's still slamming Tapper?
Tapper have over anything. He has the smallest audience on cable news. And beyond that, I think that the book is right now on the Amazon that he put out. I mean, his ratings just went to after he put the book out. You know, they did a 2-week infomercial for it. I mean, it was such a money grab.
Do you think the Democratic Party's dead?
No, I don't think the Democratic Party's dead. I think that there's some really incredible leaders in the Democratic Party. Someone will emerge. There will be a leader that will emerge.
See, all that talking.
Next
all that
on
shit,
deck with Tim Black.
all that dissing, all that calling out, all that speaking truth to power, just to do what? To get back in line with the Democratic Party. To fall right back behind the same old horse. He ain't talking about, nah, I'm done with parties. Let's do something different. Nah, he's right back doing the same shit. As if nothing happened. As if he didn't say anything. As if the people that he just described, this party, the mechanism he just described, as if it would be worthy of our time, investment, soul, hopes, futures, like as if it deserves any of that. This guy talked like he didn't just say anything. Like it wasn't a soft coup against a sitting president. Like nothing happened, like nothing to see here after all that talking. That's what I'm saying. It was just self-serving, man. He just bitter. His dad got exposed and he got the boot. He's up there trying to save face and yelling and dropping F-bombs on people with big names that people know, made it more interesting, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it's just a guy complaining because his dad lost a race or his dad got the boot. His dad didn't have to get the boot. His dad could have just stepped aside and did what he said he was going to do. And we probably end up right here where we are, but your dad looks better and he's not shamed by all these assholes coming out after him. He asked for them to come for him because he was so arrogant, he thought they didn't matter. He thought he was president. And he forgot. No man is bigger than the program. Not even Joe Biden. And not even the president. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments section, man. I really want to see what the point of view is here, man. What's up? Gary says facts, Tim. Thank you, Gary. Obama for treason. Yeah, it did. That party did shield him. They sure did. Man, Jasmine Crockett, all the, man, basically 95% of the party came out backing him up. I don't know what Hunter's just mad at Obama and Pelosi. And of course, Tapper, who shut up while Joe was in office, he tried to make a couple dollars after the fact. He wrote a book later. You can't do, if your dad would have won, the book didn't come out. If your dad would have stepped down, the book wouldn't have been done. An action causes a reaction. You know what I'm saying? Joe cannot find his own arse with both hands at the same time. He couldn't have done any worse. Artificial intelligence couldn't even clean up Biden's crap, definitely. Literally. Right. Damn. Bidenomics was killing us. Are you talking about Kamala's? The Ambien. Yeah, that's it, the Ambien. That's some dangerous stuff, man. Bong hit. Damn. Wow. Well, look, guys, It's something, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, fam. I mean, don't get me wrong, man. I take it for what it is. It's entertaining to see those people get ripped. You know, that's good stuff from a media standpoint, and content is king. And I'm in the content business. That's dope. But, man, I'm not going to be one of those people that buy into it like that, man, because that guy's just running off nothing but bitterness for a guy who should have stepped down. He just should have stepped down, man. It's so, you know, if you're already in office and you're diminished, you ride it out. If possible, you ride it out. But you can't get reelected and be in front of people. I mean, why do the damn debate? Why do the debate? If anything, Hunter should be destroying anyone who made him do that debate. The debate was the final nail in the coffin, sir. Not Jake Tapper's book that comes out in February. The debate did it. And Joe Biden was the one saying, I'll debate him anytime. I'll debate him. He's scared to debate me. I wish he would debate me. I'll debate him right here, right now. I'll debate him. That was him. He's a lying son of a bitch. That's what he is. Just a dead eye looked at. That's what he is. He's like looking past you, not even looking at you anymore. And I'm not trying to make old jokes, man. We all be privileged to live long enough to be a nuisance like that. You know what I'm saying? It's a privilege to live that long and be a nuisance. But I'll be a nuisance in a big chair, you know? With your remote and your sweet tea. With your feet kicked up. You know what I'm saying? Be a nuisance at home. Not a nuisance by the security codes, by the nuclear codes. With the border button, you know, in your hand. I'm gonna leave it open. Leave it open. Why close it? I like the border get some air. Another 2 million coming through. New voters. All right, guys, look, hit the like button if you like the content, fam. As hard as I've been working on this content, I need you to hit the like button here for the Tim Black Show. Stand up, be counted. Let the algorithm know you're watching the Tim Black Show right here on Tim Black TV. Yeah, baby. Let's move on, shall we? I don't even know what this is, but let's go. I mean, I put it together, but I forget what starts it off. Let's go.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Match fire with fire. I think Democrats in the past too often have been more concerned with being right than being in power. And we've seen Republicans only care about being in power regardless of what is right.
So you support the Newsom effort because California right now has an independent commission that does districts in as fair a way as possible, in nonpartisan way as possible. You're saying Democrats should, even though you don't approve of it, Democrats should do it too.
We have to get serious. We have to be absolutely ruthless about getting back in power. So, yes, in California, in Illinois, in New York, wherever we have the trifecta of power, we have to use that to its absolute extent. And then the last thing, this may end up biting Republicans in the ass. You have the possibility that they will disperse Republican voters to make up these 3 or 4 or 5 new congressional districts and put those districts in play. So in Texas, we've got to get out there and register and meet the voters who are going to decide the outcomes in these next elections, if they're successful with this redistricting. Our group, Powered by People, is doing this right now on the ground. We can't wait for 2026. We got to do the work right now in 2025.
So next on deck with Tim Black.
It's no surprise to you, I'm sure. Not a big Better Work fan. This whole idea that the Democrats need to just fight harder, I just think it's bullshit. What the Democratic Party doesn't get, it's not about fighting Trump, it's about fighting for the people. If you fight for the people on the issues that the people care about, if you champion the issues that we care about, that's how you beat the Republicans. You don't beat the Republicans by beating up the Republicans. You beat the Republicans by getting the vote from the people, that gets the support from the people, and change the culture of your shit party to a culture that better aligns with the people. You're not competing against a party. You're competing for popularity with the people. What is wrong with these people, man? What don't they get? This ain't a race. It's not a boxing match. It's a popularity contest. And we're the judges, goofy. Not Joe Biden, not Trump, not Kamala. Us. Not Pelosi, not Ted Cruz. Not the GOP, not the RNC, not the DNC, the DCCC. Uno, nuno. All of us, Black America. All of America. We're all the choosers, man. And if you don't understand that, it's like, how could you ever get this thing right? So they know. Come on, guys, they know. I'm a product of public school systems here in Prince George's County, Maryland. Me, not an Einstein, never claimed to be one, but I got good common sense. That's how I got to be an old man. You don't become an old man being a young fool. You don't live long enough to become an old man. So what I'm coming at you with right now is just logic from the standpoint of this is not a UFC fight. Though I am becoming very friendly with the UFC fights. I was telling a friend of mine today, I was like, yo, man, I just started watching UFC fights, man. I ain't know what I was missing. I'm sort of like a snob, like a fight snob. Gotta watch boxing. Wasn't real, but it's not real boxing. Yeah, it's better. You can grab people, punch people, kick people, body slam people, punch them while they're down. Basically, you can commit felonies and get a paycheck for it and not work for the mob. Man, there's things you can do in a UFC match that should get you locked up. Now, a UFC match, you are fighting against an opponent. You have to beat the opponent, but still there are judges. Now, if you beat the opponent so bad that they tap out, which is what the Democrats keep trying to do to Trump, is if he has, I don't know, as if he has like the self-governing, it's sort of like the Democrats expected Trump to go, oh, I'm so ashamed of myself. I quit. I don't want to be president. You're right. You exposed me. I'm out of here. I'm ashamed. I'm not good enough. Barring that happening, you got to beat him at the ballot box. You got to beat him with the people because that's how it works. It goes to the scorecards. No matter how the fight is in UFC that I've been watching, at the end, they go to the judges. We're the judges, goofy, not you. And since they don't understand that, they keep getting their asses kicked. But see, I think they do understand it. What it is, they don't want to do what we want them to do. So they don't want to focus on doing what we want them to do because what we want them to do is against what their donors want them to do. You understand what I'm saying? That makes sense. I've been saying this same shit over 10 years now. This is nothing different. I'm just not saying it for progressives. I'm saying it for us. You know what I'm saying? I was always talking about the corruption. It's corrupt as hell. You got to get the people behind you. And then Democrats don't know how to do that because the Democrats want to keep that party money coming. You know? They love a good party. And it is what it is. Let God sort them out. Next.
Black.
And we just recently, in the last couple of days, have had one of our own that has been attacked and has been harmed dangerously by violent criminals that have been run loose here in New York City, but also in this country, as a result of sanctuary city policies and the policies of the Biden administration. I just want you all to know that we have our hearts and our prayers going out with our officer and with his family and his friends, and we'll be lifting him up in prayer for his quick recovery and his healing from this terrible tragedy that has befallen him. Listen, our officer was off duty on Saturday evening when him and his friend were attacked. They were attacked by two individuals that were set on robbing them, and thankfully he had his service weapon with him and was able to defend himself and his friend and injured one of those individuals that was trying to do them harm. His quick action speaks to his tenacity and his excellence in training and skill, and because of that, one of the perpetrators was wounded in this interaction and was incarcerated when he came in to get medical treatment. One of the suspected attackers, the one that was injured, his name is Miguel Francisco Mora Nunez, a Dominican national that was entering into this country illegally back in 2023. He was then released back into this country by the Biden administration. Miguel Francisco Moro Nunez is and has a rap sheet that is a mile long. He was arrested. He was charged with grand larceny and also assault. The state of Massachusetts has an active warrant out for him for armed robbery with a firearm. He also has many other charges against him, such as kidnapping and witness intimidation. There's absolutely zero reason that someone who is scum of the earth like this should be running loose on the streets of New York City. He was arrested 4 different times in New York City, and because of the mayor's policies and sanctuary city policies, was released back to do harm to people and to individuals living in this city. Make no mistake, this officer is in the hospital today fighting for his life because of the policies of the mayor of this city and the city council and the people that were in charge of keeping the public safe. They refused to do so, and now we have the situation on our hand where someone who has dedicated their lives to protecting the public is now fighting for his own. I'm calling on every single mayor and sanctuary city and sanctuary governor to change their policies and to change their tactics right now.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
I'll say it again, sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. And I'm going to work very hard with Secretary Noem to keep President Trump's promise and his commitment several weeks ago that sanctuary cities are now our priority. We're going to flood the zone. You don't want to let us into jail to arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of a jail. You want to release him into the street, which makes it unsafe for the community, makes it unsafe for the officer, makes it unsafe for the alien. Anything can happen on a street arrest. So what we're going to do, we'll have more agents in New York City to look for that bad guy. So sanctuary cities get exactly what they don't want, more agents in the community and more agents in the work site. If we can't arrest a bad guy in the safety and security of the county jail, then arrest him in the community.
Next on deck with...
You know, man, I never understood it, man. It's just, you know, I got people that say they disagree with my takes on immigration. Tim Black, your takes on immigration are garbage. Every once in a while, a troll will come through the comment section. They make it pretty clear that they don't agree with me, you know what I'm saying? And I always wonder why they disagree. I mean, I used to. Now I know it's because they're dumb. And I don't mean, you know, I'm just saying they're ignorant. They don't know what's going on. I mean, take this guy, for instance. I don't understand what's the difference between Jerome getting arrested 4 times and like being released. Like that doesn't happen for Jerome or DeAndre or Brad or Troy. I'm trying to think of white guy names. You know? That doesn't happen for you. Cody. It's a good one. Cody. Yeah, Cody gets arrested 4 times. Cody gets arrested once and goes to jail. Or he gets locked up and maybe he makes bail, he doesn't. He comes out, he's got to make that trial, doesn't make that trial. Now he goes on, they pick him up again. They don't just keep letting him go because he's Cody, he's got a nice smile. You know what I'm saying? And we all know they ain't letting DeAndre's ass out. But they have rules to not turn over these guys. How you gonna have a rule not to turn somebody over to the cops? It's just crazy, man. Like, American citizens have a whole set of rules that are totally different and much more harsh. And that's how it appears to be for me. Life is a lot harder for us. It's like you're punished for being an American citizen. So, of course, they're going to take this issue and run with it as if these 2 guys that try to rob the off-duty cop knew he was an off-duty cop. No, they're just robbing whoever they saw, probably, I'm assuming, unless it was a hit. And I don't know the conditions of why the robbery took place, but any reason for it is not going to be acceptable. Yeah, it's like arrested 4 times in New York alone. He got warrants all across the country in Massachusetts as well. That's just crazy to me, man. I don't. Contrary to some of the people out there that report on black communities, we don't like crime. Yeah, crime's not our friend. Big Mama want to be able to walk outside, get her mail. Our kids want to be able to play, in the neighborhood. Our women want to be able to take the train home or park their car, walk up to their home without fear. Men, we like to live. We don't want to get shot in the ass trying to fry some burgers on the grill. Like, nobody likes it. So why would we want undocumented people to keep getting released to be in our neighborhoods either? Why would we want that? Explain why you think we should want that. I know it's okay for you. I say, man, and this is why Governor Abbott, they called him High Wheels. This is why he sent the migrants to New York and Chicago. Because he's like, why should we take all the pain? You guys keep saying you're the one that want them to come here, but then when we drop them off at your doorstep, you're like, hey, I want them here, just not here. You know what I'm saying? Want them over there somewhere. I can't speak for all American. I never claimed to. I just got a certain group of black people that understand where I'm coming from, who don't listen to goofy words like xenophobic. All I'm saying is, what makes you think black Americans are okay? Majority of black Americans or any group of black Americans of any size want more crime in our neighborhoods from people with a get out of jail free card. Who would want that? Who wants that? You don't want it in your neighborhood. Why do you think we want it? Because if you don't want it, you're a hater, Tim. These people are just trying to live a better life. Damn it, Tim Black. I know some people trying to live a better life too. You may have heard of them. They're called Black Americans. Oh, and I hear that not all white Americans got money. Yeah, a lot of white Americans with their pockets tight who would raise their hands too, like, excuse me. And while I'm there are a lot of Latino Americans who hands shoot up too. This idea that we're all separated on this issue. Man, nobody wants bad shit to happen to their family, man. Nobody wants the resources in their community being siphoned off by people who didn't put in on their community. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants it. I'm sure you agree with me. Well, some of you. Most of you. Some don't. It's okay. You can't get everybody. You know what I'm saying? So now they're going to be talking about this for who knows how long. because they get to use these two guys. See what I'm saying? See what happened in New York when these two undocumented people attacked a police officer, and I understand that the officer who was off duty got shot in the face. That's cold. Speedy recovery to the face, person getting shot in the face, man. That's next.
Tim Black.
I've waited 3 decades to be able to even be heard about this because the government has not held any of the people I reported accountable. And so basically the night before I went in, before I began working for Epstein, he called me at very late in the evening and asked me to come up to the Helmsley Palace offices. And I didn't even have money for a subway token. It's kind of embarrassing. So I had to go running up there. And so I told Epstein, I'll be up there. It'll probably take me until like 9. He's like, okay. So I get there and I'm waiting. It's dark. Like there's no light on in the offices. And I thought that was really weird. So I'm seated against the wall in the main part of the offices and just waiting for Epstein. And he says, I'll be out in a minute, and he's got the door closed. And then a few minutes later, this man walks in a business suit, kind of tall, imposing. And I immediately was like, that's Donald Trump. What's he doing here? I'm supposed to be working for Epstein and interviewing with him. Why is Donald Trump here? And he walked up about, a few feet from me and just stood over me in a very imposing way and looked at me like he was in on some secret or something. It was really weird, like smirking kind of. And I felt threatened, so I made an ugly face. And when I made that ugly face, Epstein walked out from the offices on this side. Trump's standing here, I'm here. And he walks out of his office and he goes, oh, no. He was laughing at me. And he goes, she's not here for you. Follow me, right? And he escorts him in to this other room. And I always wondered, who was she in there? Was someone in there, right? And I have no way of knowing, nothing. But I felt very intimidated because I had on running shorts and I was vulnerable, sweaty, just a nobody in an office with these two men. That it felt very predatory and uncomfortable. I have to say that when I made that ugly face, he backed off. It wasn't like he was aggressive after that, but he made a really vulgar comment following. And I don't know if it was like, like locker room talk in the 90s, the way men were, but he made a joke to Epstein, oh, I thought she was 16. And I thought that was so strange because at the time my sister was 15 actually. And I didn't think it was funny, even though it was just a little bit inappropriate, but I thought, I don't know what it was. But anyway, and then they entered that room.
So Epstein says, she's not for you. And then when did Trump make the comment about your age? Again, you were 25 at the time, right? So, I mean, you were a 25-year-old woman. Yeah.
Yeah, I was
was
a
it
woman,
after Epstein
right.
said that comment that he made the comment about age, or?
Yes. So he first said, no, she's not here for you, which immediately made me feel weird. Like, was there someone there, right, in that other room? And so that's another reason I was nervous. And so as soon as he said that, laughed, I made the face, all that stuff, they started to walk away into that other room where he's escorting him. He goes, come with me. And he takes Trump into this other room in the offices at 9 o'clock at night. And there's no one else in, that I know of in these offices, but was someone in that room. So I always wondered what that was about. And anyway, that comment was made under his breath as they were entering that room.
Next on deck with
What the hell was that? Now, what are we supposed to make of that? 30 years ago, Epstein, I went to an interview at Epstein's business at 9 at night in some biker shorts. I was 25. You're a grown-ass woman, right? I mean, take some accountability, lady. You're 25. This is not a story. Set. He looked at me and I felt a certain kind of way. I felt intimidated because they're big, mean men. Not they touched me, not they did something. He made an offhand joke. I thought you was 16. You're implying it meant something that nobody acted on. Is somebody here to meet him, being nosy and shit? Someone else here to see him? Is he going to meet somebody else? Should I be afraid for her? What's going on? I'd like to know what dummy goes to get a job at 9 o'clock at night in someone's business by themselves in biker shorts. What kind of secretarial services were you offering to supply, lady? I mean, I know video vixens who wouldn't do that shit. Back when it was video vixens. Now they work on the Joe Budden podcast. But be serious, man. Be serious. So this is what it's going to be like, huh? This is what it's going to be. Here we go again. We're going to pull, the Democrats are going to pull anything they can pull out their asses, throw it against the wall to see if they can stop Trump from, he can't run again. So you're just doing it now to do it. Because you suck so bad. There's nothing else to do. You know, sometimes, there are people, they have no self-preservation. They'll hurt themselves to hurt you. It gets so mad. Sometimes women get that way. I'm no knock to the sisters. You get so mad at a brother that you'll hurt them. You'll hurt both of you. You'll wreck our car. Hey, that was our car. How are we going to get to work? You should have thought about that before you made me mad. You can't go to work either. I'll be okay. I think she's crazy. That's the Democratic Party, man. What they're doing now is they're willing to throw what's left of their brain that's already burnt up and laying against the side of the fence. They're willing to burn it to nothing, to ashes, and sprinkle the ashes in the sea. If they can make Trump look bad. They dig this one out. 30 years ago, she made a face at him like, I mean, I have a lot of memories in my life. I just don't think I will remember 30 years ago being at a meeting when I was supposed to meet someone else, meeting someone else there and making a face and how I felt when I made that face. Just seems a little weird, like not likely to happen. What was so eventful about that? It just was seared into your brain for 30 years. He was tall. He ain't Shaq size. You mean he was tall? He looked imposing. Man, he didn't offer you money or nothing. Nothing happened. I was thinking it was going to be some bombshell. You're going to drop something. So now just innuendo of your thoughts are enough. Whatever you were thinking 30 years ago at the time is enough. I've been waiting 30 years to tell this story. No one's ever been so desperate enough to give me a platform for this bullshit. Let's see if I can make some more appearances on cable news, telling my story that no one ever wanted to hear because it doesn't amount to shit. But frankly, the Democrats are so at the bottom of the barrel, corporate media will let me get a stage and a presence to say it. Think about it. It is nothing. It's hollow. It's pointless. If this woman had any way to get some money out of Trump or whatever, she would have already done it. Case closed, face closed. Next. Tall is a crime now. Yep, still talking about grabbing by her. Yep, still talking about it. There you go. We want the list of the people that hurt children, not that boy. Exactly. Exactly. Give us the list. I went to the meeting with Epstein and Donald Trump was there and he waved at me and I could just feel his eyes undressing me as he waved at me and the way his hand looked. And when he moved it like this, it was like this and it made my heart stop. And I was so intimidated at his wave. I just stood there in silence. I didn't know what to say or do. I was sweaty. I was short. I was alone. I was 25. It was dark outside. It was the month of July. Capricorn rising. There were street vendors outside. It was a little muggy. I don't know what else to say. It was stars in the sky. No, it was a clear night. What else do I have? What else do we have?
Tim Black.
Black American delineation has nothing to do with anti-African, anti-Caribbean, or anti-other Black nations. It's about preserving culture, preserving inheritance, setting aside a particular group so that they are not forgotten. They don't want their ancestors, the sacrifice of their ancestors. They don't want the sacrifice of their people to be forgotten. You say that they don't have culture. You say that they don't have identity. And when they decide to set themselves apart, you say that they shouldn't. And no other culture is expected to absorb everybody else except Black Americans.
Yep.
You don't go to Jamaica and say, you got to accept us as Jamaican. You don't go to Haiti and say, you got to accept us as Haitian. Everybody else can have their identity. But when it comes to Black Americans wanting to set themselves apart, you say, oh no, you guys you're xenophobic, you're Zionists. No, stop gaslighting them. Are there some extremists? Yes. But that doesn't represent the whole group. It's important that this group is set aside because they do have an inheritance. They have a special tie to this land and a special history to this land, and they deserve that observation.
And let's be honest, guys, and I appreciate this clip from my brothers from Reset Race, Actify Press. It was a great, great clip, and the young lady in the clip. Well put, sister, well put. When she said, don't let them gaslight us, stop gaslighting Black people. Black people, stop gaslighting yourself into acting, into believing that they don't understand. They get it. It gets to a certain point with these trolls that they'll have you questioning reality like you'll say, maybe they don't understand. Let me continue to explain myself. But they got it the first time. Fam, they just want our resources. They want our resources. There's something that Black people have in America that nobody else will have. It's our history. It's our struggle. It's our unique positioning, being here in the country as long as we've been here, as long as this has been a country before this was a country. You know, it's the fabric of the country itself. It's mixed in with black people. And that's the currency. And I look at it like they want whatever resources, whatever benefits that may come to black people, they want some of it. That's all it is. That's it. That's all. Forget it. Bam, boom, bye. And when they say, they use this analogy, when I'm in the car and the cops see me, they don't know. Hey, let's cut the shit. When I talk about black people being messed with cops, let's not act like that happens every 2 seconds of every day to everyone and all the time. It's sort of like you're conflating that, you're over-dramatizing it, okay? Philando Castile was pulled over like 100 times. Have you been Philando Castile? Probably not. This idea that you're going to use that as to say, we don't get to have a culture, and if we don't let you in because Roland's friend Greg Carr said that we need to all do this, and I remember this scripture, and I remember the time Malcolm X said we need to work together. Well, you know what, they shot Malcolm X to death. What was it, 60 years ago? Things have changed. Okay, things have changed. I understand the philosophy. That was a different time. There's been a lot of changes with legislation and where this country's gone since Malcolm X was here. And we're coming down to the end of Black America, man. We don't have time to play games. These people understand. And that's why, man, I make comments. It's like, you know what, man, as much as people don't like hearing it, they don't like hearing it, man. Black America and white America, we have a close relationship, and we always will. It was only until a couple years ago I truly understood how so many folks have really gravitated to our culture. You know, because I live mostly predominantly black areas. I've known white people, of course, I've worked with them, but just having the internet and really diving into different sections of the internet, there are people that aren't cosplaying, man. They are really drenched in the culture of black culture, in the music and the fashion, in their daily lives. They're walking around their homes with their kids, dropping slang and doing this and doing that, and the hairstyle and everything. It's just, everything is we're a part of America and America's a part of us. And I take exception with people that say that's a wrong way to look at Black America. We are here. This is our country, the only country we've ever known. I think it's crazy to say we shouldn't embrace that which is ours. That's just crazy, man. You know? Our people put too much time into this country to not be able to have a claim to our own shit. We should be able to claim our own legacy. And nobody Jamaican should have a problem with that. They got a Jamaican legacy. Haitians got a Haitian legacy. And the Egyptians have an Egyptian legacy. Lord knows the Swedish have their own and the Irish have their own. For us, it's being Black Americans. That's its own lane. There should be nothing wrong with that. I started this show tonight talking about Malcolm Jamal Warner. He left an indelible mark, and he symbolized something for Black America. You could be fond of him. You could symbolize something for you. You may have been a humongous fan of the show back in the 90s, and it may have been your favorite show. It doesn't matter who you are. You could have that same feeling. But it was something for us to see the positivity, the focus on education, the close relationship with his mom and his dad and his siblings, and them to be doing well and all those things. It just meant something, because I don't think we'd ever seen it that way for us before on the screen. And that goes back to the legacy of being Black in America, the legacy of Black exploitation films, the legacy of Black folks not able to have those roles, the legacy of blackface, them mocking us, not putting us in roles of respect. So Yeah, man. I think I love the way she put it. I don't want to go too deep on it, but let's just say, I think the other groups get it. I think they do. I'm sure they understand it. I think it comes to a certain point, man. I mean, I also want to point out when my Nigerian brothers come here, people that come to America from other countries, like my Nigerian brothers, my Ghana brothers, my Congolese brothers and sisters, man, they're the top percent. They're the top 10% of those people in those countries. And you come here and you start talking shit to the average Black American, but you put the average Black American, you stack them up against the average Congolese or Nigerian, and I did a video, a deep dive about the differences in those countries and our country. You'll really get more of an understanding as to why they need to be a little more humble when it comes to this. Because when I looked at the dynamics, when I looked at the demographics of Nigerians' population in Nigeria, not the ones who can spend the money to come here. That's a special few. I'm talking about back there. So you're gonna, it would be like if you judge a group by the ones that went to Harvard. You don't look at the ones that live in the trailer park. You ain't really looking at the group, are you? And that's sort of what they do when they do like the numbers. And I got a bunch of people saying, well, why aren't you doing as well? Why aren't you doing as well as Somalians? Yeah, go where the Somalians from? What country they from? Let's go there and look at their numbers. How they doing over there? Not the ones that come over here. I'm talking about the ones over there. Because the ones that get to come over here, it ain't just everybody. They don't pick the guy who lives on the streets, who gets a meal every other day and wash his ass twice a week, if you're lucky. He not over here. He don't get to come to America. You understand what I'm saying? The truly impoverished folks don't get to come over here. The ones that lack education don't get to come over here. The ones whose parents don't have the monies, the same thing for my Indian folks. The caste system they got over there, oh, come on. They got a caste system over there in India. If you from these bottom castes, you don't get to come to America, fam. The Brahmin caste, that's the Vivek class. See, some people know some things, some people know no things. I know some things about a lot of things, and that I know because I know a brother who his father was a diplomat from India, from the Middle East. I forget exactly which country. His name was Dave Sadu. Dave gave me a very clear understanding of how things worked in this country and how they looked at Black Americans and how the caste system worked. Anyway, thank you, sister, for the video. Great video. Dope. I love to hear what you guys think about this in the comments section. Let's post a couple comments from the Tim Black Wolfpack. What say you, fam? They know what they're doing. You don't have to explain all these people are human. They have an agenda. Descended from John Adams, born in the late 70s and named Toby. This is America. Wow, fam. Cecilia Johnson says, you can't buy a home for less than $400,000. Shut up. Well, it depends on where you live at. But that's a good number to have. FBA on code, fam. Those Nigerians that are third class. Who's that? Who's that, Jorge? Jorge. Don't Akon City or FBA reparations? Don't Akon City own FBA reparations, period. Oh, no, I didn't cover Akon, what happened with his city, fam. I saw it, though. It's happening now. This is our country. It's true. I appreciate y'all, man. I do. I think I'm done, man. I think that's it. Yeah. That's it for tonight, man. Thank y'all so much for being here tonight. You know what we do. We come back on Wednesday live with a new show. I want to shout out all my people, man. My Tim Black Wolfpack in the comments section. My Tim Black Wolfpack in the VIP section. Become a member of the Tim Black Show by going to jointimblack.com. We're lucky to have you. We're fortunate to have you. We look forward to you joining us. Go to jointimblack.com or join us on YouTube. Yeah, man. Don't forget, keep sending your story ideas. Keep sending your clips. It helps. It really does help me come up with ideas for shows and segments. You can reach me at tim@timblacktv.com, tim@timblacktv.com. That's all I got, fam. Nothing but love for you. Remember, like I always say, don't let anybody take your cornbread. That's right. Keep your cornbread. Keep your cornbread, fam. Because that's what they trying to do, trying to take our cornbread. Why would you try to take somebody's cornbread, fam? Yeah, man. Everybody just wants peace. So all people want is peace. But you don't come correct and you end up pieced up. Ba-ba! Ba-ba! All right, that's it. All right, now. And as I end our shows, I always say, where are my ladies? Where are my ladies? They better be in that bed asleep. Oh, there they go.